Here's the best way to evo up Sapphire Mark Williams until that beautiful diamond. So we have Mark Williams right here as his nice little Sapphire, 25 points and 6 block shots, and that's really all you're gonna have to do, blocks and points the entire way through. But I just wanted to show you guys basically what his evos were before we get into how to finish everything else, just in case there's anybody who doesn't know if they want to pick him up and see how good he is. So Mark Williams will get a bit better mid-range, you know, free throw, stuff like that. I'm personally a big Mark Williams fan. Him at Duke was crazy. And really, you want to pick up Mark Williams if you want a guy who's going to go into the paint and block a bunch of shots and just be great defensively. And you can see we do get a decent bit of badges here, like gold anchor, great badge, silver interceptor, silver post move lockdown, and gold back down punisher, even up to ruby. Once you get them up to amethyst, you get even better rebounding, even better post control, and better interior defense up to an 85, an 84 block, 69 steals, not bad, a bit better dunking, vertical, and things like that. And again, some more badges, gold posterizer, and Hall of Fame pogo stick, really good for a guy at his tier. And then once you go all the way up to diamond, you get 90s in both rebounding and 89 interior, crazy good pass perception as well. I am completely messing these up. I keep going down. His mid-range actually goes up a little bit to a 64. That's still not great, but I mean, with a shoe and things like that, you can make it a bit better. Oh, wait. I was absolutely tripping. We're on the wrong one. There we go. We get to an 89 block as well on top of that pass perception, a bit better strength and better stamina. I wish he got a bit better midi, but I've watched a lot of Mark Williams. He don't really shoot it like that. But he does get Hall of Fame Aerial Wizard, which is the badge that helps you catch lobs and finish them. So really good. Silver Bully, probably the best badge for big men in the game. Limitless Takeoff and gold post move lockdown. So all around a really great card. Now there's a few different ways you can go about getting blocks and getting points with a card. If you just want to do this one passively, because I think even Mark Williams is good as a just base Sapphire, getting boards, blocky shots, and just finishing around the rim. If you just want to kind of casually do this, use Mark Williams as it comes, that is perfectly fine. I mean, he is a pretty solid enough card, but there are some ways you can go about it that are a little bit better. In my opinion, my favorite mode to grind right now, given the 105 games that I've played, is single player clutch time. It's just an easy mode. It works like triple threat, and you get a full-on 5v5 experience. I think it's great for just getting evo cards up and just having a generally good time. So you could throw Mark Williams in one of these lineups and just kind of have some fun. But what I think is going to be the best option for most people is triple threat offline. I only have 32 wins right now, so I am on a lower difficulty, but doesn't really matter too much when it comes to this Mark Williams. Now, there are a few cards that you're going to need, and they are Randy Brewer and Boban to get points and to get the blocks, especially the blocks. Now, the reason I have both of these guys is because Boban is only 2 tokens, so super easy to get, and Randy Brewer I think is pretty cheap as well. Both of these guys are taller than Mark Williams is. So Randy Brewer is 7'3", and so is Boban. I think there are maybe some taller guys, but we're just gonna rock with them. And Mark Williams is 7 foot. Essentially, this means that Mark Williams is going to be our point guard, and the other people that we're gonna match up against, as long as they are 7 foot, it should be a pretty easy block. Even for Mark Williams, he still can get those. And for anybody wondering, if you are clicking onto these and they're giving you, you know, say a small forward to start it out, just hit R2 or whatever button it says down there in the left to move over 2 centers and then pick your taller guys. You can run 3 centers or triple threat offline, and it doesn't matter. You sometimes can't in online because people do set player locks and things like that, or position locks and things like that. Either way, that's all you want to do. Grab those 3 guys and go in, and you will see when we load into this game right here, we will have Mark Williams against Lonzo Ball, a shooting guard who is essentially a point guard. Now Lonzo is 6'6", so I do think that Lonzo is going to be a bit harder to guard than some other guys are, but that honestly won't be too bad. Now when it comes to the evo, we do have Lonzo. Again, Lonzo's a pretty good defender. That's kind of the exact opposite, but all you really need to do is kind of just back him down to the post, hit L2 to go into the post, hold R2, hit square down towards the basket to get a drop step, and then you're good. And then for blocks, it's a interesting one, but you can see we're kind of just going to let them go to the basket. Sometimes you're going to get fouls. Mark Williams not the quickest of guys. I'll show you guys another one where I can explain it a little bit better. We're going to go down to the post, boom, quick drop step, and then a little layup. Sometimes the center will help out like we just saw right there. Sometimes you can switch on them like we did right here. We can get a little pump fake. If you can time it, you'll hit them. It's not a big deal. But for these blocks, you essentially want to let the guy who has the ball in his hands get to the basket. If they can shoot, you don't want to leave them as open as I did right in the beginning. But you want them to run to the basket, which is why we need a point guard, because as you can see, Jakob Poeltl not really into going to the basket, and then you're just going to essentially jump and try to time their block. Now we want it on point guards because they are shorter and they are easy to block, unlike Excapar, who is just getting in the absolute way and basically messing up everything we're trying to do. But again, this is really just the method. I have to show you guys that the blocks are actually working. We do a little post spin, another drop step on Lonzo right there, and boom, easy buckets. Obviously, he can't shoot, so it's kind of the best method. If you're trying to duo them up, you can do alley-oops and things like that. But let's see how we do it. We're just going to walk to the side so Lonzo runs to the basket and then try to drive in. The tough part about this is Mark Williams doesn't have a high speed, so you do have to kind of predict when they are going to be making their move to the basket. The points, though, as you can see, are fairly easy, but when it comes to getting the blocks, especially with this method, you kind of have to time when they're going to go in. Whenever you kind of see them bursting a bit, that's when you got to run. Because I don't think he comes with chase down artists. You can see the blocks are working for everybody else right now, but they're not working for us. He doesn't come with chase down artists, and chase down blocks aren't as good as they were last year in 22. So the method sometimes can be a little bit, I guess we'll call it whack. We do have another center right up on us. Again, Excapar will not leave us alone, but there we go. We can get the finish nice and easy. So you can't exactly just run and kind of block it. You do have to kind of stay in front of him at least a little bit. Lonzo is a very hard player to block, but boom, there you go. You time your blocks, run down to the paint, and then you will get a super easy block, and you can essentially just kind of go down to the paint. If you want to get better at shooting post hooks, you can work on them. I just like to do the pump fakes and kind of just take the shots directly over players. But it does kind of work. If you don't want to kind of do this method, you can run like another point guard and throw lobs up to Mark Williams, run a little pick and roll action to kind of help him out. It's kind of just all up to you. But that's really the meat and potatoes of everything that you need, I guess, to get good at to use this Mark Williams. Honestly, work on some post moves, get some post hooks, work on, I guess, the timing that you need to kind of let guys like Lonzo run to the basket, so then you can kind of just defend them, wall them up, and just eventually get blocks. I haven't exactly warmed up on this, so I'm not the best at it right now, but it can help. And especially when you get this rim protector takeover, this is kind of when you can get those, I guess, bail out blocks. And just hope that doesn't happen. I don't think you can set any special settings, but this is essentially all your evo is. It's a boring process. It is a repetitive process, but 6 blocks really isn't too much. I think the final one is like 20 blocks. It's really not too much in the grand scheme of things, especially if you kind of get used to this. Let's see if we can get one more block against Lonzo right here, kind of let him go inside, and then boom, easy. Sometimes you can actually even let them get boards just so you can block them again, and it's overall a it's a fairly easy. I mean, I haven't really been trying. We got 2 blocks with Williams and 1 with Brewer. Pretty easy. Either way, you can add some boosts, obviously, like interior defense, block, and I think speed will also really help, and acceleration on this Mark Williams if you want to put on some things, and they're also great boosts just to have on him in general if you want to keep him at diamond. But that's generally how I would go about evoing this Mark Williams. Let me know what you guys are doing down in the comment section below, and if this video helped, like the video if you did enjoy, and subscribe if you are new to the channel. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next